What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Don't Blink TV. Remember the cartoons that colored your childhood? The vibrant worlds, the simple lessons? What if I told you beneath the nostalgic surface lies a chilling ocean of secrets? Today we're not just dipping our toes in. We're plunging into the depths of the cartoon conspiracy iceberg, exploring fan theories that will fundamentally change the way you see your favorite shows, from the plausible to the profoundly unsettling. Get ready to have your innocence shattered. The vast majority of people only see the tip of the iceberg. They know the basic theories, the ones that get passed around on social media. But what they don't realize is for every theory they heard, there are a dozen more lurking in the cold, dark waters below. Let's start our descent. At the very top, we have the theories that are practically pop culture canon. They are compelling and just a little bit unsettling. The Powerpuff Girls trauma theory. This theory suggests that the trio isn't just a force of good, but a fractured psyche dealing with trauma. Blossom's need for perfect leadership and organization is a manifestation of her fear of failure, while Bubble's sweet nature can suddenly snap into a ferocious rage, revealing a deeply repressed emotionality. Buttercup's constant anger and aggression are ways of lashing out, a defense mechanism against a world that she feels constantly threatens her. These aren't just character traits, they're complex coping mechanisms for a childhood gone wrong. Ed, and Eddie in Purgatory. This one poses that the cul-de-sac kids aren't living in a strange neighborhood. They're all dead and trapped in a kind of eternal purgatory. The lack of parents, the timeless, endless summers, and the bizarre monochromatic color of their tongues in the early seasons all hint that they are deceased souls. Each character obsession, Eddie's scams, Ed's comic books, and Ed's pursuit of knowledge is a repetitive loop, a personal hell they cannot escape. The jawbreakers they so desperately crave, it's a sweet but unattainable prize, a symbol of the life they can no longer have. Courage the Cowardly Dog's anxiety. This theory reframes the entire show as a tragic tale of a dog's struggles with severe anxiety. What if Muriel and Eustace aren't actually what you think, but Courage is crippling anxiety and trauma from his past, as a hint in the episode The Last of the Starmakers, causes him to perceive the world's mundane elements as terrifying. Otherworldly monsters, a simple visit from the barber becomes a monstrous stylist. A greedy salesman becomes a horrifying demonic creature. The show from this perspective is a heartbreaking look into the mind of someone whose fears are so overwhelming they distort reality. These theories offer a quick, dark twist on the shows we thought we knew, but as we go deeper, the rabbit hole gets much stranger. Now we're in the shallow waters. This is where the lore begins to expand in fascinating and eerie ways. The Dexter to Johnny Bravo timeline. This is a fan favorite, suggesting that the genius boy Dexter eventually grew up into the muscle-bound idiot Johnny Bravo. The theory states that after a lifetime of being rejected by girls and overshadowed by his sister Dee Dee, Dexter abandoned his intellectual pursuit. He chose to focus on his physical appearance and developed a narcissistic personality, becoming the character we know as Johnny. His constant over-the-top attempt to get women are a tragic echo of his childhood failures. The Pixar shared universe. This is a vast, intricate theory that links every single Pixar film into one sprawling epic timeline. It claims the by and large corporation pollution, as seen in Wall-E, leads to the animal rebellion in A Bug's Life, and the eventual rise of intelligent animals. The monsters in Monsters, Inc. aren't actually monsters, but evolved creatures traveling through time, using closet doors to harvest human children's screams as a source of energy. And the witch from Brave is none other than the adult Boo, who has learned to use magic to travel through time and is still desperately searching for her kitty Sully. Adventure Time in the Mushroom War. This is a terrifying revelation. The whimsical land of Ooo is not a fantasy world, but a post-apocalyptic landscape. The show takes place 1,000 years after a nuclear event known as the Great Mushroom War. The magical creatures in the candy-themed kingdoms are a result of radiation and mutation, while artifacts from our world like an old VCR are treated as ancient relics. The character of Simon Petrikov, or the Ice King, is a brilliant human scientist driven to insanity by a magical crown, a tragic survivor of the war, and a walking testament to his devastating legacy. These theories aren't just fun headcanon, they create a disturbing new mythology around our most beloved animated works. We've reached the abyss. Down here, the theories are no longer about simple connection. They delve into an unsettling psychological trauma of characters themselves. These are the narratives that generally cast a dark pale over your childhood memories. The Recess Kid's sad reality. This theory suggests that the playground is not a utopia, but a grim escape from the children's painful home lives. Each member of the gang is dealing with a specific issue, TJ is an insecure kid who needs to control his environment. Spinelli's punk aesthetic is a defense mechanism against her suburban family. Vince's athletic obsession hides a desperate need for validation. And Mikey's love of food is a classic coping mechanism for loneliness. The playground is a self-created haven, a fragile fantasy they desperately cling to. Winnie the Pooh and mental illness. This theory is particularly heartbreaking. It suggests that each character in the 100-Acre Woods embodies a different mental or developmental disorder. Eeyore's chronic melancholy and low energy are textbook signs of depression. Piglet's constant stuttering and crippling fear are indicative of generalized anxiety disorder. Tigger's boundless energy and impulsive points to ADHD. Even Pooh himself, with his obsessive love of honey and very little brains, shows signs of OCD and inattentive ADHD. It transforms the tranquil woods into a microcosm of psychological struggles. These theories are heavy and difficult to unsee. They transform simple cartoons into profound and often tragic allegories. In these deep, crushing waters, we find theories so obscure they rely on a single frame, a cryptic line of dialogue, or an alleged behind-the-scenes rumor. Only the most dedicated and eagle-eyed fans know about these submerged secrets, subliminal messages, and hidden imagery. Theorists claim that animators sometimes hide secrets, often disturbing imagery and phrases in their work. The most famous example is the alleged single frame of a topless woman in The Rescuers, but other more subtle examples include alleged backwards messages in theme songs or cryptic symbols hidden in backgrounds of scenes, which some believe are the animators' way of communicating a darker, covert narrative to few who will notice. The unofficial multiverse. This theory goes beyond a shared universe and poses a covert, unofficial multiverse. It claims that animators working for different studios and on different shows secretly include subtle nods to each other's work. These are believed to be private Easter eggs that hint at a secret, entwined world only known to creators. These theories are like ghost stories whispered in the dark, but with just enough convincing, it'll make you question everything. We reach the very bottom. This is where sanity ends and paranoia begins. These theories often are completely unproven, but they are so outlandish and deeply disturbing that they become sort of digital folklore. Cartoons as mind control. The famous trench theory claims that certain shows were created as a form of social engineering or mind control. Conspiracy theories allege that the repetitive themes, bright colors, and simple plots were designed to subtly condition a generation, making them more pliable and obedient to authority figures or commercial messaging. It's a paranoid delusion that sees every childhood show as a piece of insidious propaganda. The lost episode creepypastas. Every classic show has at least one. These stories typically follow a similar pattern. A person working for the studio discovers an old unreleased VHS tape. The episode starts normally, but quickly descends into a horrifying display of violence, psychological terror, or hyper-realistic gore. The plot often ends with a character committing suicide or a final cryptic message from a distressed animator. While they almost always proven to be fictional, they tap into our deepest fears about our most cherished childhood memories. We made it out of the abyss, but the images and the ideas we discuss will linger. These theories, whether true or not, are a testament to the power of imagination, or perhaps the dark side of it. Which theories do you believe are true, and which ones are just urban legends? And more importantly, what's a cartoon conspiracy you think deserves to be on the iceberg? Let me know in the comments below. You people be safe out there. I'll see y'all later.